What is happening there, Reject Nation? Looks like it's shaping up to be a new Rockstars weekend here at the Real Rejects. We're gonna watch today Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, post-credit scenes and ending explained. This is very necessary for us because I'm not gonna lie, wasn't sure who that was. Still don't know. So I'm very curious to hear what Eric Voss has to say. Guys, we're going to be doing our live stream with Coy Jandro this coming Sunday, looking around the 11:30 a.m., 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. But yeah, I mean, sitting right in front of Eric Voss, he was literally like inches behind me. He's just notepadding it up. I was half tempted to turn around and be like, what you got? But then I thought he would be really annoyed at me for doing that, so I didn't do it. Anyway, let's do this.
Welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Eric Voss, and this is an explanation of the ending and post-credit scenes for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, a film that shocks us with what exactly, directed by Sam Raimi, means that, like we saw with Wanda, when your dreams are finally within reach, they are ripped to shreds! Spoiler warning in case me saying I'm discussing the ending and post-credit scenes of this movie wasn't clear enough, because I will be spoiling the entire Multiverse of Madness plot in this video. So if you haven't seen the film and you need me to tell you this, go watch this movie on the biggest screen you can. It is amazing to look at. I will stay here waiting for you. So Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness has two post-credit scenes, but it's really the madness that comes before, throughout this movie, that we need to break down first. In this movie, Wanda Maximoff, seeking a universe with Billy and Tommy, hunts down America Chavez for her ability to travel the multiverse. In the opening scene leading to the death of Defender Strange, Doctor Strange reaches out to her for help, in doing so letting her know exactly where America Chavez is, and so she sacks Cumberbatch, and Strange and America escape to Earth 838, an advanced utopian reality where they meet Mortal Supreme and the rest of the Illuminati. Marvel's Illuminati in the comics is a 6-member group of leaders like the UN World Security Council, in this case for superheroes seeking to best defend Earth. In the MCU, the lineup is Mortal Supreme replacing Supreme Strange. In this dimension died a hero defeating Thanos, we think, but also Captain Carter, this universe's first Avenger. Hayley Atwell returning as Peggy Carter, playing a live-action version of her What If character.
Wait a minute. Are we 100% sure that that is the same Captain Carter from What If? This could just be another Captain Carter from another universe. This part of me feels a little bit let down if you're like, got Captain Carter, What If? We're building her up, and then she dies.
And especially too because they don't really make any allusions to What If, so it really feels like it could just be another variant.
Because I actually like the Illuminati death scene, but at the same time, if that is the same one, I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Especially after all the hype they made about like, oh, What If's gonna factor in. If it's just in that way, I feel like that's a bit of a cop-out.
Maria Rambeau, Captain Marvel, Defender of the Cosmos, Lashana Lynch.
That's Tom Cruise Iron Man.
Presumably a Captain Marvel, where in this universe she was irradiated by the Lightspeed engine instead of Carol Danvers. Then Black Bolt, leader of the Inhumans, keeper of the Terrigen Mist,
justice for Inhumans.
His role from ABC's canceled Inhuman series. Reed Richards, aka Mr. Fantastic and the Fantastic Four, with John Krasinski actually playing the role we've all been fan casting for years. Head of the Baxter Foundation, where Christine Palmer works alongside Ultron Sentries.
I'm excited to be watching this for the second time tonight, but I'm really excited to be watching this for the third time next week. When John Krasinski showed up on screen, whatever lines he had, couldn't hear a damn thing he said. Just cheers. The audience was losing their shit, and I know it's gonna be the same thing tonight. I really wonder what those lines of dialogue are.
Not till home video you won't find out.
And then of course this Illuminati's founder, Charles Xavier, Professor X, leader of the mutants, Patrick Stewart returning for the Fox X-Men franchise, but here in his olive green suit and yellow hover
big
chair
ass
from
shirt.
the animated series. So we learn how their universe's Stephen
Like a
Strange
full-on
allowed
car.
the Darkhold to corrupt his soul, destroying universes in an incursion, forcing Black Bolt to destroy him with the whispered, "I'm sorry." Since of course Black Bolt's voice can level mountains, and this Illuminati lied, enshrining Strange as a hero. Meanwhile, Wanda uses the Darkhold to dreamwalk, aka possess the bodies of one of her variant selves from another universe, and wrecks the Illuminati, sealing Black Bolt's mouth Neo style, so he obliterates his own brain.
Such a cool
Reed
moment.
Richards' elastic body like ribbon, severing Captain Carter at the midsection with her own shield, crushing Captain Marvel under rubble, and then Professor X tries to rescue Wanda Wanda inside her mind, but the Scarlet Witch snaps his neck. Why? So Strange is in America trying to get to the Book of Vishanti, but Wanda snaps
My thoughts exactly.
She's like the Terminator, man.
into a post-incursion universe where Strange meets a sinister Strange. Third eye opens on his forehead, a twisted, evil manifestation showing how this guy's soul has been corrupted by the Darkhold. The two Stranges duel with music, and Strange blasts
Such a great
three-eyed
fight.
Strange out the
Such a
window,
creative fight.
impaling him on a fence below. Yet the third eye opens because the soul of the damned remains alive. So then Strange uses this universe's Darkhold to dreamwalk into that corpse of Defender Strange over to the temple on Wundagore Mountain to confront Wanda and save America. In doing so, he exposes his own soul to the souls of the damned and eventually manages to harness these souls into a replacement cloak. It is sick. America punches Wanda back into Westview, making Billy and Tommy see her as a monster.
I avoided plot leaks, but I was reading one that came out a few months ago that was so accurate to the actual movie, but there were some minor differences in there. I interpreted it as this must have been the original edit, because I believe the original edit was like 2 hours and 40 minutes, and they reshot it, trimmed it down, and blah, blah, blah. And that original plot leak, yeah, all that happened, and America Chavez and Wanda got into like a much bigger fight that led into more multiverses. As I've heard a lot of people complain about how we didn't go to enough multiverses. Didn't really bother me, but I understand the gripe that some people had. Wonder if this could be the first time we get an extended cut. Give us the extended cut. Give us a Raimi cut. I'm sure he would want one too.
Our Wanda, finally realizing her mistakes, implodes the temple and destroys the Darkholds in every reality. America is left a sorcerer in training at Camertage, and Strange takes a morning stroll, but then suddenly a third eye opens on his forehead and he screams. This leads to a post-credit scene where Strange is greeted by the sorceress Clea, played by Charlize Theron, who tells him that he created an incursion and they need to fix it.
Okay.
She opens a rift to the dark dimension, and Strange, who now proudly opens that third eye, joins her unafraid. Now in the comics, Clea is the sorcerer supreme of the dark dimension, niece to Uncle Dormammu, who becomes a major partner to Strange and eventually his spouse. It was only a matter of time before Clea joined the MCU, and her and this movie's repeated use of the word incursion is super important, as it points to a possible Secret Wars crossover event on the horizon.
Cool. That makes a lot more sense now. I'm not gonna lie, when she showed up, I went, oh! It's fucking Charlize Theron.
She's here. Charlize will save the day.
Who is that? Who she played exactly?
Are they friendly? Are they in love? What's going on?
I didn't pick up on the vibe. Bit of a weird transition, because the movie ends with this like horrific medicine. I burst in the third eye. And then the very next scene, he's like, I got the third eye.
I mastered it.
Where to go?
Just off
Yeah,
screen.
I can kick ass now. Actually, that complements a lot better now, especially with the romantic angle of Doctor Strange and Christine Palmer, of how like they love each other but they can't be with one another. Clea's her name, for her to be introduced, and if they do go down the road where they fall in love and they start up a romance, that could be something like really unique to witch, wizard, witch. Is that what they said? I don't know what
Sorceress.
Sorceress. You know. She's a sorceress, and also this leading to Secret Wars. I feel like that's when it's really going to be Multiverse of Madness focused on madness, and I think Secret Wars is going to be like the multiverse unleashed.
Yeah, like just all variants possible. Yeah.
In the Secret Wars comics, all the Marvel heroes and villains are respawned on a multiversal plane called Battleworld. In the more recent 2015 version of the events, it was Doctor Doom who oversees this. In the original 80s storyline, it was the Beyonder. Now, there is a second post-credit scene with Bruce Campbell's cameo as Pizza Papa John-style pizza ball street vendor in the Illuminati dimension of Earth 838, whom Strange left cursed so that his left fist kept punching his own face. An homage to Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell's past work in the Evil Dead series, and Ash's infamous cursed severed hand that attacks him. Strange earlier said that the spell would last 3 weeks, and here we are 3 weeks later. His pizza ball's melted, the spell wears off, and he turns to camera with the meta declaration of, "It's over!" Folks, there is so much to unpack from this film, and we will in the days ahead, trust me, but some quick takeaways we gotta address here.
Yes.
The Illuminati of this movie exist in Marvel Earth 838, and this movie finally identifies the main MCU as Earth 616, a designation until now only hinted at, like with the label on the film strip of Loki's timeline timeline in
yeah.
Loki Episode 1, and in Spider-Man Far From Home, when the imposter Mysterio Quentin Beck claimed he was from Dimension 833, and then this dimension was 616, which now makes it pretty coincidental that Quentin Beck and Guterman picked the actual multiversal numerical designation out of a hat. Okay, either way, this means that in the MCU multiverse exists one universe at least where mutants, the Fantastic Four, the Inhumans and the Terrigen Mist, and Captain Carter all coexist. And things like mutants, Terrigen Mist, the Negative Zone. If they exist in one dimension, they can exist in others. Terrigen Mist in the comics is famously how characters like Miss Marvel are created.
It's true.
It seems like the MCU version of that is gonna go in a different direction, yet still Terrigen Mists exist in the MCU, folks. Mutants exist in the MCU. X-Men are coming. Still not here, but they're coming. And if all these things can exist in the MCU, hopefully so too can living versions of some of these brutally murdered members of the Illuminati.
First off, when Earth 616 popped up in theaters, it was so funny because it was like a packed theater and just scattered were people losing their shit. Woo! And then everyone going, what's the big deal? I don't understand what that means.
833-616. How many Earths are there?
It's just the numbers, isn't it? But most had no idea what. Like around the theater, people were losing their shit. I thought like the Illuminati would kind of be this like multiversal team, but they're all from the same Earth in and of itself. So it seems like the real mashup or the rewriting would happen. Secret Wars kind of did what comparatively to DC, what the Flashpoint did, which is sort of like keep some and smash together some others. I feel like after Secret Wars is probably when we'll get mutants, and they're planting the seeds to just sort of slap it together, I suppose. I don't know. What was cut out of that 40 minutes? Is they even try to explain, Professor X, and just another being with powers, which is the simplest way to keep it for your first film.
Maybe after a Secret Wars type thing, maybe they would have a multiversal Illuminati, basically, that's like, hey, we're all kind of assembled of different universes, and maybe we can meet in the middle to oversee all this. Because, yeah, it did feel a little more contained than I was expecting in this movie, but like you said, I think that's probably actually a good call given like the murmur that came up when people were like 616, what's that?
Lynch, Atwell wore those suits with confidence, my friends, and Krasinski as Reed Richards notably mentioned having a wife and children, referring to Sue Storm, the Invisible Woman, and their child Franklin Richards, a key Omega level mutant in the comics, and implying a lineage of descendants that will eventually lead to Nathaniel Richards, aka Kang the Conqueror.
I love
Actually, the recent news that John Watts has stepped down from directing the MCU Fantastic Four movie has led many to speculate that John Krasinski could take over as actor-director, as he's done an amazing job with the two A Quiet Place films and has previously expressed interest. Now, it remains to be seen if Krasinski will be the MCU's Reed Richards in every universe, or just this one and a different actor will play the character in the future, as the MCU at this point has shown
Hey, people would get upset about that.
can be played either by the same actor or different ones. And that same uncertainty applies to how the MCU will introduce the X-Men. Patrick Stewart just seems like a fan service return from a beloved era, and maybe less like a harbinger of other past era X-Men and mutants that Kevin Feige will bring back. And other than Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool, there seem to be no other plans to bring back like Hugh Jackman or James Marsden or Halle Berry as of yet. The options remain open.
They definitely cut out a bunch of cameos. I feel like really confident about that. There is a longer cut out there that is enormously longer, and I imagine that they probably cut out some characters and wanted to reserve them for some reason.
For the DVD.
Yeah.
Super cut of all the cameos we didn't put in.
On the Three-Eyed Strange and Clea. So Strange's third eye likely indicates that his soul remains cursed and bonded with those souls of the damned, and whatever evil spirits surrounded the Darkhold. Despite the Darkholds being destroyed in every dimension, whatever evil lurks through them, imbued into those pages from the curses drafted by Cthon, remain living in Doctor Strange. I mean, even after the climax of this movie, Strange seemed to be in a bit of denial about what lingering effects of his embracing the souls of the damned would mean for him going forward. And the fact that he's now at peace with this curse suggests that he sees it as more of a power, the next stage of his evolution, him facing his fears. So what awaits them in the dark dimension? Well, maybe an incursion resulting in Doctor Doom's Battle World and Avengers 5 Secret Wars, or maybe the guy who famously loves torturing the damned. Or, since Kevin Feige recently confirmed Loki and the removal of that Kang variant, He Who Remains, was the initial cause of this madness, and the hint of Reed Richards' lineage, the beneficiary of these incursions might be Kang the Conqueror. Again, a lot to talk about, folks, and my Easter egg breakdown of this film is coming to the channel tomorrow, I think, followed by days, weeks, and months ahead of us continuing to unpack this film.
Dude.
Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at EAVoss. Follow
That breakdown's gonna be insane.
For more analysis of everything you
Breakdown
love.
of madness.
That breakdown is gonna be batshit insane. This movie's 2 hours of information. Yeah.
It's gonna be the first new Rockstars that's longer than the actual movie itself.
Can't imagine how you're gonna do it, man. Yeah, but take your time, just make it good. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for being here. Keep a lookout for our live stream this coming Sunday. And hey, let's do a Adelia Chamberlain. I would love to hop through the multiverse to meet all the different kinds of Adelias. See, Adelia Earth 616 is very much, you know, like a liberal, a little bit shy. Love the hell out of her. Then I want to go to Earth 838, where Adelia is a hardcore Republican. Bring Earth 616 Adelia over to Earth 838 and watch them deck it out. And then we go to another Earth, and Adelia there is a what, John?
Oh, Adelia there is a box of French fries.
Box of French fries.
Oh, yeah.
Talking fries like that Adult Swim show.
Absolutely. Powered Aqua Teen Adelia Force.
And then when we go to another one, what is she there? She's a black man.
That's right.
Touch that.
Adelia.
Touch that joke, John.
You know,
Touch it.
she's
Touch it.
she's you know, an upstanding member of society, just like anybody else.
Well played.
Yeah, Black Adelia, best variant possible. A different planet. You're Asian, Adelia.
The
but
shout-out's
you're
done.
a bad guy.